Spider-Woman on node 42 is still giving a lot of people problems, so I just want to share my strategy for making this fight pretty safe with Mole Man. Now I know there are other counters like Shang-Chi, Patriot and Crossbones, but I've only done it with Mole Man, although I have done it a lot. 5 out of 5 wars this season so far and most wars in the last 2 seasons. So I do have a good amount of experience, and as a result I've developed a pretty robust strategy for it. So I think the main thing that's giving people issues with Mole Man is they're still trying to play it like a typical Mole Man fight, where you would build up your monster mass, enter frenzy and try to nuke with the big special 2. And that can work. In fact, that's what I used to do when I started taking this fight. But it's not the safest way to deal with it, because a lot can go wrong before you even get to that special 2. When you're fumbled, she can throw undexable special 1s into your block. In fact, she can even break your block with the ensnare. Even with max stand your ground, she still has a small chance to bypass your ability to block unblockable attacks, which is kind of crazy. So instead of using special 2, what I prefer to do is spam special 1. But the key thing is to time it with the fumble timer to prevent that debuff. And if you don't get fumbled, you also don't get ensnared, making it safe to dex anything she throws at you and block all unblockable attacks. So now her only real threat is the evade, which is a chance based on the amount of debuffs she has on you, but it only goes up to 24%, so you can just play around it. You just want to make sure your special 1s don't get evaded, because she can punish you for that, which is why I'll usually just parry or use my striker just before throwing special 1. And the nice thing about Mole Man special 1 is it has a relatively long animation, so you do have a fairly large window to throw it for it to line up with the fumble timer. And if you somehow miss it, you can still remove the fumble by activating a special attack. However, that will not remove the ensnare debuff. So like most things, it is just better to prevent it than to deal with it after the fact. And then of course you just want to be weaving in your heavy attacks to maintain frenzy, and build endurance to counter the tactic and reduce debuff duration. And that's pretty much it. So just to summarize, the main thing is to make sure you are throwing your special 1 while the fumble timer expires, to prevent the fumble and ensnare debuffs so you can always dex and block unblockables. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention is you actually could use the special 2 with the strategy if you use an advanced power boost. I just prefer using invulnerability for this fight just to make it safer, cause you never know, getting comboed by her can hurt quite a bit. But yeah, it's pretty much the same game plan, you're just starting the fight with an extra bar of power. But yeah, I hope you found this useful and thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you soon.